Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. Jarl of the Appian Way here. I've been dying to get in some more 2v2s lately, and this is the only one I've had in the last few days. I keep trying to log into the server, log into the Discord, trying to see who's available, who's doing what. But I have a 2v2 here that I had a lot of fun with. I joined this game. This is going to be Vampire Counts and Beastmen versus Warriors of Chaos and Tomb Kings. I really like this kind of engagement. I think it probably would have been a little bit more thematic if the Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings were on one side, but I don't often play as Vampire Counts, not in multiplayer, and when I do, I typically lose. And I took a very interesting tactic. I was trying to decide, okay, what are the Beastmen bringing that I could potentially help them with? And I thought, monsters. Maybe I can get a little bit of healing. And I went, oh no, wait, the healing only works on undead units. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can just slow down my enemy with a huge, massive infantry. And the funny thing is if you look over here at U4U's army, he was apparently thinking something much the same. Look at the chevrons he puts on these Chaos Warriors. Wasn't expecting to see that, and I also wasn't expecting to see 9 units of Marauders, just regular old Marauder infantry. I brought 9 units of zombies, thinking nobody's going to bring this much infantry. He actually brings more infantry to this battle than I did, and I brought 9 zombie units and 3 Graveguard units. So I was very surprised when the game loaded in and I looked at this and I looked across the battlefield and I went, "Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to have more bodies on the field." And I start scanning over here and I'm looking in oh god, it's all Marauders too. No, because zombies, they're not good. They're not good. I just brought them here because they've got a really decent hit points pile, and I just wanted to blob the enemy down and slow them down, and I guess it ultimately worked out because I kept the Warriors of Chaos for the most part away from my Beastman ally. Let's go ahead and I've got this game paused. Whew. I gotta get a big breath here. Take a sip of my drink because there's a lot of units to go over here. 9 Marauder infantry. One of them is going to have 2 XP chevron. We have the Mirror Guard. And we have, let's see here, 3 units of Chaos Warriors spread throughout the mix with 9 XP chevrons as well. Supported by Archaon the Everchosen on his steed. The spells he brought are Cascading Firecloak, Flamestorm. That's it, just those 2 spells. He has the Slayer of Kings, Standard Die, and Foe Seeker, as well as the Crown of Domination, so +4 leadership and immune to psychology for everybody in constant effect of that range. And that's going to be very useful against my zombies, which cause fear. The Chaos player also brought 4 units of Marauder Horsemen. And yeah, that's that. The Tomb Kings player brought, let's see here, a mixed infantry line. So from left to center, it's going to be Skeleton Spearmen, Tomb Guard with Halberds, Tomb Guard, Nehakar Warrior Regiment of Renown, Tomb Guard Regiment of Renown, the Kefir Guard, Tomb Guard with Halberds, and a Skeleton Spearman. He also brought 2 units of Skeleton Archers, a Nushabti with Great Bow Regiment of Renown, Chosen of the Gods, a Kemrian War Sphinx, and he doubled up on it by putting Cetra the Imperishable on a Kemrian War Sphinx, and he has 2 units of Carrion. I brought 2 Fellbats, 1 on each flank, and I put Manfred von Karstein on his flying Hellsteed. This area right here is non-deployable zone, so I have 2 zombies on this side just in case. I'm sorry, did I say 2? I meant 4 zombies on this side to try and help protect my Beastman ally. I wanted to give him the opportunity to have lots of hit point sponges in front of him. And I have a White King over here, which is going to be useful in trying to deal with some of these Tomb King leadership units. As soon as I realize there's all of this infantry over here, I bring my 9 zombies, and one of them of which being the Tithe. I'm gonna bring them this way, including the 4 that I had originally planned to support him. I also brought the Stearnsman and 2 units of Graveguard, and I brought the Claw of Nagash, which I unfortunately thought was still working the old way, which was you just put it near the battle, and it's going to take away hit points from my enemies. I missed the memo about the update on that little treat. But the good news is that my Claw of Nagash gets into the late game with a lot of health. I brought the Regiment of Renown, Varric's Reavers, Black Knights of Lances of Barding, and my other Black Knights Lances of Barding, thinking, well, I could use them to take out some Chaos Infantry, and they have a plethora of Chaos Infantry to choose from. Last but not least, my ally brought, let's see here, Gore Herd. We have 2 units of Ungor Raiders up at the front, an Ungor Herd with 1 XP Chevron, 2 units of Bestigor Herd, 2 units of Centigors, the Eye of More Sleep Cygor Regiment of Renown, there's another Gore Herd, and we have Minotaurs with great weapons, and that's it for the Beastmen. Alright, let's get the show on the road. Right away, Eye of More Sleep is going to start throwing some rocks into the middle of this blob. That's a good place to start throwing stuff. I'm going to gather my Fellbats together to try and help deal with these Carrion, but the Carrion are going to win those engagements. Eye of More Sleep is trying to take out some of these Marauder Horsemen. I'm going to go ahead and start charging in. Huge battle here. I'm moving up with my my zombies. I'm going, all right. Let's see if I can't stick these this Chaos Infantry in a line and get a good Wind of Death or something. Archaon's going to try and get a bombardment spell off. It's going to miss. Oh, it's alright. It's the Flame Storm, and it is going to chase that zombie. It does some good work on those 2 units, but again, it's just zombies. I'm not too terribly worried about it. I'm getting my other Fellbat back to join this one because I'm really worried about these Carrion here, potentially ruining the day of my allies, but not too much to it. The zombies here are actually chasing back these Marauder Horsemasters, which works out just fine for me. And I get a line of battle engaged here. The Flamestorm is still making a tough day for this unit of zombies, which disintegrates very quickly. But hey, my enemy's stuck in position now. Maybe I can get... Yep, here it is. I'm activating it now. I don't care if zombies are in the way. Eat my Wind of Death. I'm just waiting for it to spool up now. There it goes. And it mostly misses. It's going to get a good portion of this group. Or at least I was hoping it would. And the range on it just wasn't what it used to be. I feel like a lot of what used to be really good for the vampire counts just isn't as good as it used to be. So I get my Claw of Nagash up here. I'm starting to move up my Stearnsman, my other Graveguard. I know I'm gonna lose these infantry engagements. I start charging my way through Chaos Warriors and Marauder Infantry with my 2 units of Black Knights. I'm gonna try and get through here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the engagement over here. This zombie is just stuck in the middle of all of these Skeleton Spearmen, Tomb Guard, and Bestigors. The Eye of More Sleep is in melee up here, which I thought was gnarly. My Fellbats are going to try and deal with the Carrion, but they're getting shot up by Skeleton Archers. Skeleton Archers have much better things to shoot. Like, oh, I don't know, Minotaurs with great weapons that are charging right at you? Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. And elsewhere, I have my... my White King. I'm looking for an opportunity to try and protect Malagor the Dark Omen, is what I was thinking to do with him the entire time. The Minotaurs with great weapons are going to change course at the last second. They're going to go after this unit of Nakar warriors and try and chase it off the battlefield. Or, I should say, disintegrate it once and for all. Gets right into the back end of these Tomb Guard as well. And the Ungor Raiders are beating the Marauder Horsemen, which is phenomenal to see. And now I've got my two Black Knights back here behind enemy lines. And I'm going to start doing some rear charges. My zombies hold up forever because while they might disintegrate, they're never going to run away. Archaon is stuck in the middle of all this slog with Graveguard now. And occasionally I'm going to start taking some charges from Manfred onto Archaon, because I can fight Archaon on my terms. There are no ranged units over here. I can keep Manfred in a good spot. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm going to do now? Here's an Earthblood. Here's an Invocation of Nehek. Here's more hit points for my guys. I'm going to make this fight last even longer. Look at the Chaos Marauders. Eventually, they're just broken from damage sustained, and because the zombies have fear effects on them. Guess who else is benefiting from that health? Yeah, that's right, my Black Knights. So even this one unit of zombies here is holding up against, Chaos Marauders, Chaos Warriors, and it's just holding that spot for as long as they can. I know the frame rate is really bad on this, and I hope you'll forgive me. Normally I'm able to keep about a frame rate of 30, which is what I try to upload anyway, but this is probably going to look like crud on YouTube. That's just because there's so many units and so many things going on. I get my Graveguard into the back end of the Mirror Guard. I have a summoned zombie here, which I'm going to use to rear charge this blob and just hold all of them in place here. I'm trying to use Claw of Nagash. I haven't quite figured out yet that the aura effect is only if it's in melee. So I'm moving him around, going, why aren't you doing what you're supposed to do? Black Knights are out here trying to wrap up the rest of these engagements. Standard die has been activated by Archaon. Let's go back over here at the more interesting side of the battle. My White King has found Cetra, and with the help of the Minotaurs with great weapons and the Gore Bowl, Malagor, and a simple Gore Herd, we're actually going to deal a lot of damage to Cetra here. My Felbats won against the Carrion, so I went, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to charge these skeleton archers just to silence them, just to get them out of here. And the Centaurs join me in that adventure. So my ally was doing a great job of paying attention to what I was doing on his flank and then supporting me with it. Which that is the core mechanic. That is the core essential thing to do, I should say, of the 2v2. Pay attention to what your ally is doing. If he has units on your side of the field, if he's there backing you up, support what he's doing on your flank to help make it possible for you. So we get rid of Cetra in all of this, or just about. Cetra's almost done. He's facing off against Malagor and a Gore Bowl. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start pulling my White King out to try and deal with the Ushabti with Grappo, because Cetra's done. There's nothing left that he can bring to this fight. Yeah, and an enemy spawned a unit. That's going to be the Ushabti with the summoned Ushabti are going to come in there now. Look at this zombies out here. They've been out here forever, just soaking up hit after hit after hit from these Chaos Warriors and Chaos Marauders. This blob is still going on with the Mirror Guard, and this blob is still going on. I've gotten in some charges on Archaon. I'm now using the Black Knights to try and help out with my Graveguard, because at this stage I'm realizing, all right, so the zombies were never meant to be a long-term thing in this engagement. I need to start saving my the hit points on my Graveguard as much as possible. And I've got a lot of Graveguards stuck in this fight right here, including the Sternsman. So I'm going to try and start using my cavalry to just hit Archaon, knock him in and out of this fight as much as I can. The Centaurs are going to try and chase off the Marauder Horsemen. My Bats are still out here. They're just about falling apart, however. The Gorble has come out of this engagement. White King's out here. We're going to try and get into the various Ushabti units. And the Eye of Morsleep is out here against all of this Skeleton Spearman and Tomb Guard. It's going to need to get out of that. There are some Chaos Marauders and Chaos Warriors out here, and Malagor is going to fight them. But the Chaos player is just too heavily distracted by my own engagement and trying to deal with my Graveguard that he doesn't actually realize he has an opportunity to do something about all of this. My White King is going to get in here and try and support the Bestigor. I'm now pulling in my Felbats as well. One of them just disintegrates, and the other one, I'm going to see if I can't get it into these Marauder Horsemen just to chase them away and support these Bestigor herds. Chase those guys off the field. Look who's still here. That's right, this Graveguard and this zombie are still here. That's a summoned zombie that I brought in to try and support this one. And a huge charge from my Black Knights and from Manfred von Karstein. And look at this. Centaurs are still chasing these Marauder Horsemen. They brought them all the way out to this end of the field. I didn't even notice this happening at the time. Actually, I think my camera perspective was over top of them and looking down across the battle this way. So I didn't even see those Centaurs get over to this side of the battle as I'm out here trying to figure out Claw of Nagash. Still not using him in this engagement, but I should be. And at this point I'm also looking over my shoulder. I'm going, okay, how's my ally doing? Are we doing all right? No, there's still a lot of Tomb Guard out here. There's still Kemrian War Sphinx. There's still a lot of forces out here. My White King has not dealt with Adushanti with Great Bow yet. The Graveguard here is holding up great against these Chaos Marauders and the Mirror Guard. And my ally even sent a Gore Herd out here to help me out. But he's got other things to worry about, so that unit isn't going to be activated for quite some time. Manfred von Karstein, I'm trying to get him out of here. I put an Invocation of Nehek because I'm running low on health, and I just put it on this one unit that was it was in weak binding. So I tried charging in with the Varix Reavers to try and save Manfred. Manfred's still stuck in that engagement, however. These Marauder Horsemen are still chucking javelins at the Centaur. That Centaur is finally going to get activated and do something else. Oh, wait. Nope, he's going to chase again. Tries to get a piece of him. There we go. That other Centaur off in the distance is going to come back to the engagement. So the debilitated, crumbling Graveguard out here is starting to rally against the Mirror Guard. I finally charge in with the Claw of Nagash. I think I finally figured it out. And that is when the Kemrian War Sphinx arrives, which is an anti-large... No, sorry, it's an anti-infantry unit, so I'm going to go ahead and charge it with my Black Knights over here with Lances and Barding, just in the hopes that I can keep it away from this engagement. But the Marauder Horsemen are here, pelting javelins into that fight, so that's not good news for me. Meanwhile, out here, the enemy team has an infantry advantage. They're chasing down the Eye of Morsleep. The Ungor Raiders are still putting some arrows into this, but this is not looking good for me. My White King is doing a great job against the Chosen of the Gods Ushati. So the Marauder Horsemen, who have spent the last of their ammo, they get into this fight, and that's going to be the end of this Black Knights, because they're not going to be enough to deal with that Kemrian War Sphinx. I get the Claw of Nagash in here, and all of a sudden, look at the health on all of these Chaos Marauders. So maybe it was okay that I saved it for the very end, because these warriors and these marauders, they've got next to nothing left. Manfred von Karstein is chasing Archaon at this point, activated Foe Seeker and everything. I'm saying, get back. He reactivates Cascading Fire Cloak, try and give him some more melee defense and armor piercing. And he's even going to charge in with some Marauder Horsemen, just see if he can turn the tide here. So the damage is going to rack up on Manfred von Karstein fairly quickly. But so is the damage on Archaon. Varix Reavers have next to nothing left. I try to slow down the Kemrian War Sphinx a little bit more, especially as now that Manfred von Karstein is down to half health. I'm going, uh-oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. I'm losing more summoned zombies, but the Claw of Nagash is stuck in it now with the Mirror Guard, and it's going to win. The Varix Reavers are out here as well, and the Chaos Marauders out here are not going to last against the Sternsmen and the Graveguard over here. And Manfred von Karstein is getting beat, so solidly beat by Archaon, and I have to get him out of here. Look at that. All of a sudden, boom, his health just evaporates. Nothing I could do about
Battery
that.
low.
Oh, I'm sorry, my battery's starting to run low. You'll just have to deal with that as we get to the end of this engagement. There's not too terribly much left. Go ahead and fast forward a bit. As you can see, the Claw of Nagash is now my single most important unit in this, as Chaos rear charges my Sternsmen and my Graveguard. The Tomb King's player is dealing with rear charges from Centaurs and is pulling his forces back to this hill. I have more sleep is still in the fight, but he's wisely protecting his hit points at this stage. And I'm starting to think, okay, I'm going to lose a lot of my guys here to this Kemrian War Sphinx. And that is when the Chaos Infantry shatters. And I'm trying to get my my Claw of Nagash out of here. Varric's Reavers are going to disintegrate, it looks like, as well. Possibly. They're still crumbling. I'm hoping they can deal a final death blow to the Mirror Guard. My Grave Guard are going to try and chase off the Kemrian War Sphinx, but this is where the War Sphinx is at its best, is against infantry. I'm trying to use the Varric's Reavers to slow down Archaon the Everchosen, and I'm trying to get my my Claw of Nagash back over here to the support of the White King, who's finally done with those Ushabti. And the balance of power is solidly in our favor at this stage. So I see that and I go, okay, let's see what I can't do about Archaon here. Let's see if I can't deal a death blow. The Kemrian War Sphinx comes in to try and save him, but my Grave Guard are still in this fight, so I'm going to pull them as well. The Mirror Guard get reactivated. A unit was wiped out in that one blow. One of my Varric's Reavers are gone. This unit of Mirror Guard is just about out of here, and the War Sphinx is just going to run right over my infantry. Gorbel comes down here and is going to deal with the Tomb Guard Regiment of Renown. Another unit was wiped out. And that's when I say, okay, Archaon, you're the real deal. Deal with the Grave Guard. I'm going to get my my Claw of Nagash into the back end of this Tomb Guard with halberds here and eliminate them. Because my infantry is done. I was not able to deal a death blow to Archaon. And he does have infantry left over to spare. So the Tomb Kings here are going to try and fall back and deal with my Claw of Nagash, but I got news for you. You're already crumbling, and the Claw of Nagash has a debilitating effect on your health if he's in melee. So the Claw of Nagash is all I have left. And look at these hits that he pulls off. And look how quickly the health just disappears. Kemrian War Sphinx tries to get some range shots onto the Claw of Nagash, and I start moving him out. And I'm going, do you want a piece of me, really? Because I'm dealing with Tomb Guard right now. I have more sleep with a huge rock. Hits Archaon the Everchosen in the face. This is incredible. He activates Foe Seeker, I believe. No, Cascading Fire Cloak. And here comes the downhill Beastman charge as these rocks continue to pelt Archaon the Everchosen. I loved that when I saw it. Gorbel gets punted by the Kemrian War Sphinx. But I say, hey, you know what? I'm good for this fight now. Let's do this. My Beastman buddies are here. The Bestigor herd is here. Another huge rock from the Eye of Morsleep on Archaon the Everchosen. And now at this point, my Claw of Nagash is chasing Archaon, not the other way around. And I was like, okay, fine. You know what? You brought me some Chaos Marauders. I'll play with those for a little bit. You know what? No. No, let's deal with Archaon right here and now before he takes out the Eye of Morsleep with these epic stones. And then, boom, a huge hit from the Claw of Nagash. And that's going to rout Chaos once and for all. It actually kills Archaon. And the Kemrian War Sphinx is gone as well. I love battles where all that's left on one person's team is one unit. Like the Branch Wraither in the last video, the Claw of Nagash in this one, which, like I said, didn't get activated until super late, still made over 100 kills. 172 on Varric's Reavers, yes. 120 kills apiece, just about for, excuse me, for all of my Grave Guard. My zombies, yeah, they did zombie work. Even the Tithe with 1 kill. I don't care. That's not their job. They're just there to slow down my enemy. And my enemy made a lot of kills. A lot of kills. But they were against zombies. What can I say? I wish I could have gotten better use out of the Wind of Death. The White King with 5 huge kills. They were against big targets. And my Fellbats actually getting the better of the Carrion, ultimately. Yeah, let's look at Hausman and Zango now. Hausman, 66 kills on Gorbel, 83 on one of his Bestigor herds, 89 on a Centaur, 119 on the Eye of Morsleep, including some epic rocks against Archaon. Cetra with 38 kills, 60 on the Tomb Guard, 81 on the Tomb Guard with halberds, 87 on the Kefir Guard, 178 kills on that Kemrian War Sphinx at the end. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the future.